Man, oh man. You know what? You always got to start with the best stuff first, but I want to give Manton a shout out. Specifically Trevor over there at Manton and the entire Manton team. Because you know how you got like a cherry on top of your favorite ice cream sundae? This is basically what the equivalent of this is in engine terms. Or in terms of an engine. But man, I've been waiting for this day. Shout out to the entire Manton crew over there. They got this to me pretty quick too. They hooked me up with a swag pack, so you can see got some merch, got some stickers. So these will definitely be going on the drag week trailer. Haven't got it yet, but you know, I got to talk it into existence. But yep, they even hooked me up with a push rod checker. So got to whip this out, but you can kind of see how that deal works. You got the little cups right there, and then these rods basically just, you know, simulate push rod lengths. But this is absolutely gorgeous, and the actual video doesn't do it justice at all. Got the stud kit in there. You see, I got a bunch of parts over here now, like this. I remember at one point in time, like the only thing I basically had was just pistons and rods, or just pistons for a while, because it took a long time to get these MGP rods as well. But got the stud kits, or the stud kit for the rocker setup. I did have to make quite a few changes within the last couple of weeks, because I did see an issue with it was with the retainer and the lock setup, and I'll actually show you what I'm talking about. Let me grab my notepad. But so I checked the install height on these heads. You can kind of see this is what it was originally right here. Over here on the left, you can see this is the driver's side, so cylinder 1, 3, 5, and 7. These springs that I'm using, which are PAC 1259 RML springs. Show you the part number on this. So yeah, I'm sorry, 1254 RML. Kind of look at this. So this is what the springs look like. So I didn't record this, but I want to say a few weeks ago I did check the actual install height on the heads with my little PAC T902. Let me grab this out of here. Sorry guys, I didn't really plan this out right, but basically this is what I used. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Dropping everything now. So PAC T902 valve spring micrometer, and basically I was getting, everything was about $150 short from install height, or around install height. So either way, things were a lot shorter than they were supposed to be install height wise. So you can kind of see what I was getting right here, 1.999. And then actually these measurements right here, because of the cam lift, these measurements were very much so intruding on the coil bind clearance limitations. So basically ended up switching to a plus 100,000s retainer, and then a plus 50,000s lock. So that bought me 150 thou of extra install height. And still need to run some shims in conjunction with this. It's nothing too crazy, but one thing I am happy to see is, so you can actually see the clearance right here, that rocker arm to retainer clearance. So that looks all good. I do run removable lash caps on this engine, because they do make I believe they're called lock caps, that are basically integrated with the actual keepers. So this is actually, funny enough, this is why you got to check the parts, triple check everything. But funny enough, I had ordered some keepers from Manly, and I had actually found, because I was going crazy trying to install this lock, and they kept seating at different heights. And then I took that valve spring apart, or took that valve assembly apart, and then I actually found out that somehow this lock cap keeper actually made it in my package. So you can kind of see how there are two lock grooves right there. You see you got the lower one that actually sits on like the groove of the valve stem, and then the upper one right there, how the way the actual the lock caps style lash caps work, they actually are flared out at the end, and they interlock in that little groove right there at the top. So I'm glad it didn't seat completely, because this is definitely something that probably would have got overlooked. So this is why I always tell people, especially like when I'm on TikTok live or Instagram live, you know, a lot of people would try to beat me up for assembling this stuff, then disassembling it, when I'm more so just trying to get acquainted with it, because I'm the guy that'll be doing all the maintenance on this stuff. Like I'm the mechanic of this, so I'm trying to get familiar with the architecture. This is kind of like my first time dealing with a HEMI setup, so you know, I want to try to learn as much as I can on it. But yeah, it's like little stuff like this. I mean, it's not crazy, but it definitely could have gotten bad if this would have slipped through the cracks. So got to triple check this stuff. And for some reason, people think that I'm joking about this whole AC thing. Like, I think I showed this in my last video, but I finally got this pulley set up, knocked out. You can see I got the correct HTV pulley on there for my fuel pump clutch. That'll be driving my clutch-driven / cable-driven mechanical fuel pump for my alcohol system. That'll be tied into these rails up here with the dual injectors per cylinder. So right now I'm planning on getting dual 800-pound fuel tech injectors. That'll probably be down the road, because I think when I bring this truck out, I won't have the alcohol fuel system plumbed or anything yet, because it's quite a bit of money that I could save. I mean, especially with with me running dual fuel systems and utilizing like E85 on the street, I definitely got to get acquainted with that power level first, especially what, you know, what this thing is capable of making on pump E85. I would imagine like maybe like 2,000 or 2,500 horsepower if I really wanted to push it on E85. But that's just more so for my street tune, I guess. But and then obviously I got the 6 rib pulley. What I'm thinking for the accessories right now, I think I'll probably just make a standoff on the frame, because I'm just thinking in a sense of serviceability. Like, say for instance, if I'm on drag week and I got to pull this engine out, I definitely don't want to have to finagle with accessories and whatnot and have to pull all that stuff off. It would just be much easier if I only had to pop a belt off and then move this over to the side and have this stuff mounted with, you know, bracketry on the frame. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot to show this too. But I did get the lifters for this thing. I got a really good deal on this too, on these. These were like brand new in the box. Shout out to Chad Wright. He sells a bunch of that higher end, like top or billet HEMI stuff. But yeah, these are the gesso lifters. These are the PLF 41710 part number. So this is a 1-inch lifter, 905 roller wheel, and then you can obviously, it's a link bar lifter, and these are 1 inch in diameter. So pretty nice. These were brand new. Can't really complain because I got a hell of a discount on these. So Chad, shout out to you. Anybody looking for any parts, whether it's new or used, hit up Chad right on Facebook, and he could probably get you together. These were like shipped out the next day, like as soon as I ordered them. So, and then I also got this stuff rolling right now. So I'm actually modifying, or I guess let me start off by saying this is the E-Pass system that's going on my truck. So it's a DCE E-Pass system. I know I'm being a little bit extra by tying this in, but like I said, I want this to be a comfortable cruiser. I don't really, my days of sweating in race cars is over. Even street cars, I don't, you know, I want to pull up smelling good and not have to put in a lot of effort to drive the thing. So, but anyways, I picked up a Momo steering wheel. I never knew that I was as picky as I was when it came to steering wheels, but I settled on this one because I was really looking for a pretty sweet D-bottom steering wheel, or I'm sorry, a flat bottom steering wheel. And then I also like how they tie the buttons in because it looks pretty clean. But I got a Motion Raceworks quick disconnect on it. See if I can get this out with one hand. Yep, there we go. So really like this thing. The machining is great on it. Shout out to Motion Raceworks, because I watched their video when they were explaining how this was superior to like the normal splined one, and I definitely agree, because just playing around with the strange one that I had, it was like kind of a PITA to line that stuff up, and this one is kind of like, you know, you don't even got to think about it. It just slips in like butter. So I'm waiting on a 3.5 inch plate to come, so that way I can modify this, because I mean, obviously, as you can see, it'll be pretty difficult to tie a quick disconnect into that. So the plate will basically have this spud welded to it, and then the plate will be bolted to this using these existing 4 bolt holes right here, which uses like an M8 bolt. So should work pretty good. I'm getting that stuff figured out. But yeah. Yep, also got the valves in one of the heads. I kind of did this just more so to, you know, mock up the rockers, and then kind of also used it as an excuse to use, let me get this stuff out the way. This pretty badass spring compressor I picked up right here. This is a LSM. Let's see if I can get this over here. This is a LSM valve spring compressor. Definitely isn't cheap in terms of spring compressors, but definitely money well spent, because this made these springs a breeze to install. I don't have the lash cap on there, but yeah, these it made quick work of these springs. You can sort of get a better look at the head right here. It's one thing forgot to mention that I got the titanium Manley valves in. Shout out to John Gentry for hooking me up with these. Got a little bit of oil in the chambers I gotta clean out, but yeah, so far so good on this stuff. Valves were a little expensive though. But yeah, I might actually head up to the shop and then show you guys the actual mock-up engine with the heads. And then I might even bring a rocker setup in there just so I can get a few pictures. But yeah, I might head up to the shop, and then you guys will see what kind of clearance I'm working with in the engine bay. All right, so you guys can see I got the mock-up block all ready to go. This is working out pretty good because a buddy of mine actually let me borrow this. But the nice thing is that this block is actually representative of the Noonan block that I'm running in my truck. So this will be a nice test fixture to put in the truck to mock everything up. Still do got to knock out the steering. So that's why I actually have the oil pump on there right now, because the block is upside down and this is on the driver's side, like right where that junction where the steering shaft and the actual steering rack would made up. So this is like a real critical area right here. So that's kind of the reason why I put the oil pump on. Got the motor plates on, those are all good to go. Got the oil pan on. So yeah, this will definitely be worth going this route. Shout out to Todd for letting me use the block. But I also have my my e-pass system, because the truck will have electric power steering. I know I'm being a little a little greedy on this build, but like I said, I want this to be a comfortable street truck. So yep, I got the steering wheel mounted on there, good placeholder coupler. I am doing something a little bit more custom, but I just more so want to see with this like pushed all the way against the firewall, because I'll have to do a little bit of a custom steering setup because of the way that the shaft comes out the firewall on the S10. So they make these boxes basically called steer clear boxes. You can get them from Speedway. They make them in a slew of different sizes, and it is a pretty awesome piece because it allows you to basically pop out the steering shaft at a much different angle than it would normally come out your firewall, because there's like basically an input and an output interface, and it's like 360 degrees clockable. So I actually put a little snippet of it in this video to see, so you can see what I'm talking about. But it is a pretty badass piece. So that's the reason I'm taking this up to the shop, because I just want to get a rough draft measurement of what box length I need, because I want to get it ordered up. They're on sale right now, so any bit of money that I can save definitely helps. Then I'm also taking a turbo up to the shop because these are being mounted in the grill. I'm only taking one because that's really all I need, because these will both be mounted symmetrically side to side. So I want to see how much room I basically have from the back of this turbine housing to the front of the motor, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I get up to the shop. So I'm gonna try to run up there real quick, and then in the next scene I'll probably have the engine block and everything in the truck. So all right, so I'm getting this ready, go in here. Just want to get an idea of the fitment. All right, so finally got the engine in. You see I got a turbo actually in the grill for Mockup. I am getting a new grill and recutting it, but this is just more so just to get back to square one. Right off the bat, I did kind of screw up these motor plate lengths, so I might have to fix that, and that would allow me to get rid of these spacers. I know this isn't an ideal setup, but I was just trying to cheap out, and yeah, I think I'm gonna just replace these, get the same motor plates, should just get them wider, because these measure like 26 inches. Ideally what I need is like a 32-inch total length from side to side. So, but ground clearance is also pretty good on this. The oil pump clears pretty good, so that was one thing I was worried about. So not too bad. Kind of how the back end looks. This is getting X-braced more. Like I've been telling people too, this is all steel. This is not plastic. The original dash in there. Everything is kind of dusty right now, so please excuse it. But this mock-up block should streamline things a lot. So about to start chipping away at this again, and hopefully we have a finished product soon. Santos shocks. All right, guys, so now I actually got the heads on there. You can kind of see just for mock-up, but I still got quite a bit of space. I mean, you can see on this side right here with the valve cover on. Still, it surprises me every time how much space that I got, even though this is a big block HEMI. But you can see this area right here, I actually got to send the intake out to get modified, because I'm putting an extra set of fuel rails under here for the street system. But yeah, beautiful matin rockers. But it's like super tight underneath this cowl right here. You can kind of see. This is a camera focus. But yeah, I almost want to cut this out, because honestly it's just so tight. I still got a good amount of room to get you know, fuel fittings back there and stuff, but the cowl is really the main problematic spot. But I think I had showed you guys when the LS engine was in here before I went HEMI, these bars were a lot narrower, so that's why these motor plates are short now. Because I thought we were going to keep those front bars, but we actually decided like last minute to widen them up. So now I might have to get new motor plates. So expensive lesson, but I would much rather just do it right than band-aided. So well, it should be pretty simple. Like I've said before, turbos are going up here, so don't pay attention to all of this stuff is getting, I bought this core support off of a buddy, so all of this stuff is already welded and stuff, but this is actually getting cut out. But just show you a little bit of the tubing up here. Nice welds. So yeah, so we'll probably make the turbo mounts actually off of the chassis as opposed to the core support, but going right in the grill. I am getting a new grill, and it will be recut because this one is off a little bit, but two big 110 millimeters right up in the grill. Don't get not much more ignorant than that. Kind of do a little pan around of the rocker setup. So, and then also the charge piping should be pretty simplistic up here too, because I am gonna try to do the new thing that a lot of people are doing with the E-gate on the code side, and I might not run wastegates at all, but that's kind of pending. Kind of trying to see more data on that, because I could save quite a bit of money if I don't have to run the traditional like hot side wastegates. So yeah, ideally I would just like to run the code side E-gate and just, you know, keep it a little bit more simplistic. But I mean, it's even crazy with how low this thing is. Let me see if I can get a side shot, because it's like slammed. At least the rear is. Rear is like slammed. But it's still crazy how much, when you really look at it, how much like ground clearance that I got. Let's see if I can get a good shot. I don't know if you can really see that, but I got quite a bit of space underneath the car. It's probably like a good foot from the bottom of the oil pan to the ground, even with the truck this low. So, but yeah, still running the stock dash. This might have to get cut up a little bit more, but more than likely I'll probably just end up getting all this reupholstered like Alcantara or something. And then all of this stuff is getting powder coated, so I don't really mind the color. But I am doing something a little bit different. I know a lot of people might bash me for this, but I am running twin drive-by-wire throttle bodies. So that'll be something a little bit different on a setup like this. You can see I do have to send this intake out though to get modified, because if you look in there, the throttle body opening is actually bigger than the intake opening, so I need to do like some type of like taper mill just to blend everything nice and smooth. But that's not a big deal. I already got that stuff in the works, because I'm gonna get that done at the same time when I send the intake out to get the fuel rails and stuff added on. So, but yeah, trying to chip away at it little by little. As far as the cooling system, I'm thinking about doing dual radiators in the rear, like right up in this area. You can see how this area is like angled right here, so I might try to fit something within this area on both sides. So gotta clean this stuff off. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much a wrap on this video. Definitely making some progress. Finally got all the engine stuff knocked out of the way. Now it is just time to pony up and get that that beautiful lockup 400 to go behind this thing to actually put the power down. So I will have an update on my turbo dirt bike build pretty soon, along with the Grom. So just please bear with me because, you know, these builds are expensive and they take time. So if you guys do want to support me, though, please go follow me on Instagram. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and please share the video. Definitely helps. Every little bit helps, especially with this stuff. So appreciate everybody that's been, you know, staying in tune with the build. But once again, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Try to get this thing out here this year. Peace.